I'll still smoke weed sometimes because I ain't a nerd, right, ma'am? But I don't eat weed. No. Eating weed is for children. I don't fuck with that. Eating weed is like finding a World War I grenade in the woods and throwing it. You have no idea what's gonna happen. Like, is that gonna work? And they're like, we'll find out when Grandma gets here. Also, I hate how they make weed edibles things I already desire. You know what I mean? I don't need an incentive to eat a brownie. I've always wanted a brownie. No one's ever offered me a gummy bear, and I'm like, oh, I'm not into gummy bears. I always want gummy bears. Let's make weed celery if we're gonna do this. You know, like, let's get high and healthy. Moms can get behind it, that's exciting. We're gonna limit mistakes at parties as well. I've never once walked into a party and seen an unmarked bowl of celery and was like, I knew this party was rock and roll. And then had somebody be like, oh, fuck, bro, how much celery did you just eat? Why? Just how much celery did you have? And be honest. I guess I did 2 stalks and an ants on a log. He had ants on a log! I know it's not even noon. Okay, yeah, the new parties, we watch that guy. Whenever I get too high, my immediate reaction is that I want to take a shower. Yeah, it's a thing. Because you think it's going to make you not high. Even if I'm at a stranger's house, I'm like, do you have a shower that I could jump in real quick? Kind of panicking. But it doesn't make you unhigh. It just turns into a fascinating shower. Where you get way too excited about how when you hold your arm out, you guide water a little bit. Everyone's done it. Everyone here has been in the shower and then been like, whoa. I doubt that corner gets a lot of water. That's fun. I get way too excited when I'm high. You know what I mean? I'm way too excited. I talk to the shower. I'm like, normally you clean me. Guess what? I'm cleaning you tonight. All the dry parts of the shower get water. No dry part is safe from Brooks. I bet you felt pretty safe, hair up there. Guess what? You're not. Yeah, that's right. That is right. Why don't you say hey to the drain for me? Tell them Covalent Bonds sent you. My main vice right now is wine. I love it. It's the best. I don't drink it on stage because I don't look like a dick, though. It's a way different vibe if I like walked on stage with like a glass of wine. I was like, who's from a meth town? Michael Barbrino? No way. Like, what was your town? Michelada? What was it? Nikiski? That's not on me for not remembering that the whole time. Nikiski, more like, no thank you, me. You just look like kind of a jerk when you're drinking wine and talking into a microphone. You know, like if you're drinking it right now, that's fine. That's cool. You're not making an announcement. But if you're drinking wine and you make an announcement, that announcement's gonna suck. It is. Anytime anyone's holding a glass of wine and they're like, gather around, they're about to tell you something you don't give a shit about, you know? Like, Tiffany got into Vanderbilt, everybody. Shut up. You invited me to a barbecue. If you're ever at someone's house and they have a glass of wine and they say, gather around, don't. Just be like, time to leave, gotta go. And they're like, but wait. Don't let them brag. They're gonna brag. Leave. And this is the opposite if someone's holding a wine cooler, okay? If someone's rocking a wine cooler and they say, gather around, get over there. They're about to show you a jet ski they just won. That's right, yeah, you get to ride it, yeah, for sure. Anybody thrown up wine in here? You done that? You played this game? It sucks. Because you got to explain it's not blood? Do you know what I mean? You're just like, blah, blah, blah. That's not blood. So I get to stay. Ugh, don't step in it. One more, please. Every time I buy a bottle of wine from the wine shop I go to, I hate it because I have to lie to the guy who runs the wine shop I go to. Because I'm always interested. You know, I want to learn about wine. So I'm like, hey, how's this Pinot Grigio? And he always makes me lie by asking the same fucked up question. He always asks, depends, what are you having it with? I'm like, shit. Don't make me come up with a pretend dinner right now. I didn't come in here to do improv. What am I having it with? Probably the other bottle of wine I'm buying. How's red go with white? Are they fun together? If I got a big old cup and poured them in there, is that gonna go good? What am I having it with? Honestly, probably a Netflix documentary on the opioid epidemic. That's probably what I'm gonna have this with. I'm gonna drink this entire bottle of wine while I lay in my bed and I watch TV on a computer. And I'm gonna judge people. These guys got a problem. Sackler family should go to jail for sure. The reason I know I'm from a meth town is because until about 8th grade, I thought garages just blew up sometimes. That just happened. McKiskey? Yep. Factual joke. And no one tells you why the garages are blowing up as a child. So you come up with theories. You know, as a little kid, I was like, sun must have got hot. Then I grew up and I was like, it can't be the sun. That doesn't make any sense. Why aren't all the garages blowing up? So I was like, it's the garage refrigerator for sure. It's gotta be the garage refrigerator, you know? Because as a kid, people will be like, go get me a popsicle. I'm like, are you out of your mind? You want me to go to the most combustible part of the house? I don't even keep my bike in there. Because garage refrigerator is always making noise. It's your worst appliance. And it's really exciting to be able to tell this joke where people understand what a garage refrigerator is. It's wonderful, okay? Because I live in Los Angeles right now. And when I talk about having a garage refrigerator to a Los Angeles audience, all they hear is 2 refrigerators. Someone must have grown up a billionaire. And I have to correct him. I'm like, oh no, you don't understand what a garage refrigerator means for most of the United States. A garage refrigerator simply means you finally got a new refrigerator. And then you said, don't throw the broken one away. That's for weird shit now. That's for things that should get cold, but if they don't, That's still okay. That's for things we don't want around the everyday milk and eggs, you know? That's for more loose deer meat in a Ziploc. That's what we're gonna put out in the garage refrigerator. Stuff from your neighbor. That goes in the garage refrigerator. You know what I mean? Your neighbor Jerry shows up, he's like, you want any of this meat? Nah, I shot him. Like, you wrecked your car, Jerry. You hit that fucking meat. I know that. That's hit meat. I'll take it though. Thank you so much. I know your processing plant. They do a great job. All right. I'm gonna put it out with the hot beer. I thought I was really rich growing up. I really did. I thought we were very rich. It doesn't take a lot to feel rich when you grow up in a meth town. It doesn't. Like, my dad sold cars and my mom was a babysitter, and I was like, I get why we're Republican. Keep the government out of this combined annual income of $55,000 for a family of 5. That's our Ford Taurus we share, not the government. You find out how poor you actually grew up with how late in your life you learn Red Lobster's not a fancy restaurant. And somebody didn't laugh and you're still poor, and that's okay. You have a goal now. That's exciting. Next time you pop down to Seattle, give it a shot. You can afford it, I promise. We think it's great, but it's the Applebee's of the sea. That's what it is. I didn't know Red Lobster wasn't fancy until I was 37. And I'm 37. It was months ago. It was this summer it happened, okay? I was in New York City with my friends. We were in Times Square and we were walking. There's a 3-story Red Lobster. I was like, whoa! And I took my phone out. I started taking photos of a fucking Red Lobster because it was 3 stories. I was like, oh, nobody's gonna believe this. Nobody back home is gonna believe that I saw a 3-star Red Lobster. That must be the mother, you know, like. And my friends are like, you love Red Lobster? I was like, oh, I love Red Lobster. Like, let's go. And I'm like, we wish. Someday. And they're like, no, for real, let's just go. I was like, no, for real, I got fucking shorts on. We're not getting in. That's a khakis only establishment, all right? Someone's grandpa in town gonna pay for that? That joke hit. You love when you're doing a stand-up special and one person in the crowd laughs. That's what you're going for. I connected with one guy, and we filmed this, and we flew the whole crew to Alaska. That's what we was trying to get, baby! One guy. I grew up in like a Big Lots part of the United States. Do you guys know what Big Lots is? Yeah? Who doesn't? Who doesn't know what Big Lots is? I'm gonna explain it to you guys, and congratulations. You lucky bastards. I'm gonna explain Big Lots to you. Imagine Kmart in the middle of a divorce. That's Big Lots. It's like an unshowered Kmart. You woke up, you know? Like you walk in and you're like, are you open? And it goes, your dad took the shelves. We're a piles and bins family now. Dig around. That's Big Lots slogan if you don't know. Dig around. You want a DVD? Check the spoon aisle. I don't know. This was a yard sale till someone built a prison around it. Yeah. I got really good at drinking in the Midwest. I got so good at it. I'm fantastic at it. I know I'm not Alaska good, but I could put, you know, I'm aware that I'm treading on your territory. Like, whoa, whoa, we have the biggest problems. But I'll put Iowa against Alaska, you know. We're going pretty hard together, all right? We both know it sucks. But I grew up in Iowa, and then I moved to Los Angeles from Iowa. And if you move straight to Los Angeles with the ability to drink like you grew up in Iowa or Alaska, they want you to go to rehab. It frightens them with how much you can drink. They're like, how many beers did you have? And you're like, tonight or today. I'm like, you drink too much. I'm like, have you met literally everyone I've ever met? I'm the weak link on my flip cup team. And it's, go ahead, what's up?
Where are we going after?
Let me finish the set and then we'll talk. Because if this keeps going the way it is, we're going to the fucking moon, baby. But if I eat shit, we're gonna go drink at Subway. Quickly in life, we separate children on whether or not they have a chance at life. We do. You may be like, what do you mean? What I mean is reading groups. That's when there's 6 and we're like, split them up. These are the maybes and these are just keep them busy. But they don't say like which one's the smart group and which one's the dumb group. They're cute with it. They're like, you're the red group and you're the blue group. But even at 6, you know. You're like, shit. My group loves glue. We can't get enough of this stuff. We're doing like glue charcuterie, you know? Like, why don't you take the glue stick, dip it in some wet cement? Yeah, it freaking rocks, okay? Maybe we should read a little bit. And they're like, we would, but remember how last reading we glued all the books shut? Damn it. We did and it rocked. It was fun. I remember one time our teacher went to split it up. She's like, red group over here, blue group over here. And my buddy was like, we're not the blue group, we're the glue group, right? And I was like, no. We shouldn't be proud of what we're doing. We should be ashamed. This story is just dedicated to the fallen brothers of the glue group. A lot of them aren't here anymore. Yeah, they blew up a lot of garages. Yep. They went out doing what they did best, guys. Just not reading instructions at all. I got out of the glue group eventually, and I ended up going to college and getting a degree in biomedical engineering. That happened, and I didn't do good. But it wasn't because I was bad at engineering. I just didn't know how to be in the corporate world. I just didn't know how to do that. I didn't know that you're supposed to just kind of be quiet and not say your feelings. I remember one time I was late to a meeting. Came in. It was like, many times I was late, but one time in particular I came in. It was like 10. You know, it's so early to start work. And I came in, I was like disheveled, and I was holding a cup of coffee, and I had an annoying coworker that was like, careful, that's new coffee, it's just like cocaine. And I go, not even fucking close. What do you think, I'm late, idiot? So I got fired. They'll fire you for that. And multiple other, infractions that I did. Many, many infractions. I don't do cocaine anymore. I don't like it. Because I don't enjoy seeing the sunrise on accident. Do you know what I mean? If you mean to see the sunrise, it's beautiful. You wake up early, pops over a mountain, you're like, whoa. I'm living life right. But if you're just slinking around an alley and the sun pops over a Costco, you're like, ah! Have you ever walked home while people were out jogging for their day? It's a nightmare. You hate each other. They're like, look at this piece of shit. You're like, fuck yeah. If I ever do cocaine again, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a yoga mat with me, all right? That way, whenever I'm walking home in the morning, I got a yoga mat underneath one arm. And I'm walking along, and whoever's out jogging, they're gonna be like, I thought I had my life together. This guy already did yoga, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I did. I did the jeans on, wild eyes yoga. I need help. This has been so fun. I'm gonna close on this last bit. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna sleep for a month. This last idea. Bless you. Just about how I'm jealous of athletes. I'm very jealous of athletes, not because they're hunks who can dunk. That's totally cool. They've earned that, right? They became hunks who dunk. They should be paid a lot. I believe that. I'm just jealous that they have the only job in the world where at the end of their workday, they get to sit down and talk about why they fucked up at work that day. No other job. You don't get to have any other job and sit down and be like, whoops. You don't get to be a civil engineer and sit down and be like, I know how bridges are supposed to go. You know, we're looking for this, and yeah, today we got one of these, but I'm gonna go home and think about it. Tomorrow we'll get back to here. Yeah, we'll get back to here tomorrow. I'm going through multiple sexual assault allegations right now. It's just hard. It's just hard to civil engineer at this current climate. So I've thought about it. I'm like, well, there's no rules to stand-up comedy. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do a post-set press conference, and I'm going to talk about the jokes that didn't work. So this is the end of the game. This is the end of the game. But it's not the end of everything. Oh my gosh.
저 오세요. 나는 나를 데려가는 사람을 완전히 지켜보았습니다. 그러나 그린 탄손의 공기는 즉시 화를 냈습니다. 그녀는 V 빈 탄젠트를 뒤로 끌어당겼습니다. 주저하지 말고 나를 꾸짖으십시오. 내 말은 다음과 같습니다. 옥을 돌려주십시오. 당신은 아직도 일부러 나를 괴롭히는군요. 나에게 보여주세요. 뜨거운 차 한 그릇이 내 입으로 곧장 던져졌다. 그녀는 입을 가리고 비명을 질렀습니다. 그 고집스럽고 솔직한 트린 리어의 모습은 즉시 산산이 부서져 고군분투하는 모습으로 변했습니다. V 빈 탄젠트의 얼굴, 나는 한 걸음 한 걸음 천천히 그에게 다가가서 그가 눈살을 찌푸리고 내 뒤로 움직일 때까지 기다렸습니다. 경비원이 계속하려고 했습니다. 죄송해요, 친구. 빈탄의 얼굴을 때리는 충격이 너무 세서 하녀의 손에 쥐고 있던 찻잔도 땅에 떨어져 깨졌다. 그녀는 몸을 떨었고 사람들을 비난하고 비난하려고 했습니다. 나는 바로 내 코를 가리켰다. 목소리가 너무 차가워서 죽고 싶지 않아 입을 다물고 있었다. 그녀는 깜짝 놀랐고 얼굴은 창백했다. 떨면서 남자는 다시 승려의 의자에 앉았다. 지금 이 순간 모두가 보는 앞에서 내 목소리는 칼날처럼 날카롭고 차가웠다. 제이드 컨 란 오프는 폐하의 사유 재산입니다. 광물 채굴을 담당한 그는 자신의 정체성을 이용하여 개인적 이익을 주장했다. 묻지 않고 가져가는 것은 3만 냥의 가치가 있는 폐하의 보석을 훔치는 것입니다. 당신이 당신의 삶을 원하거나 티엔퐁 말을 원한다면 아직은 아니지만 지금은 분명합니다. 하늘의 복을 받는 것과 같으니 눈 깜짝할 사이에 상자 입구에서 음식 한 조각을 빼앗는 것과 같습니다. V 빈탄 폐하의 얼굴. 나는 감히 말을 잇지 못한 채 내 몸에 쌓인 옥 장신구 더미를 가리키며 룩탄 손을 쳐다보았다. 그녀는 차갑게 웃었다. 그것은 이 궁전의 것이다. 그러면 묻지도 않고 그냥 가져가서 부수고 조각으로 만들면 됩니다. 이거.